Hello everyone, my name is Aarti and you're watching HW News. Smuggling is an illegal activity, but still many smugglers who illegally deal in drugs or expensive items try to evade the authorities to import these materials. Most of the times, these smugglers are caught red-handed. You might have read about how the Customs Department caught gold smuggling at the airport. Recently, a man was caught smuggling gold that was pasted inside his pants. A man was caught who had a golden tooth. Apparently, he was smuggling that gold. There are many such stories of how far the smugglers go to smuggle the material in the country. But the smuggled goods are not only caught at the airport, such seizures often take place at ports as well. And recently, authorities have been able to carry out what is said to be one of the largest seizures in the world. And this seizure found about 3,000 kilograms of heroin worth almost 19,000 crores being smuggled from Afghanistan. This action happened at Mundra port in Gujarat, which is operated by Adani Ports. Recently, the Directorate of Revenue Intelligence, that is DRI, impounded two containers carrying about 2,988.22 kg of heroin at Mundra port in Gujarat. Two persons have been arrested and the role of some Afghan nationals is also being investigated in this regard. The breakthrough came after the agency received a specific tip-off about consignment imported by Ashi Trading Company, which is located in Vijayawada in Andhra Pradesh. The company declared that it was importing semi-processed talcum powder stones originating from Afghanistan and shipped from Bandar Abbas port in Iran to Mundra port. Now, the DRI suspected that the consignment contained narcotic drugs being supplied from Afghanistan. Based on the inputs, the agency intercepted the two containers. In the presence of experts from the Gandhinagar-based Forensic Science Laboratory, the containers were searched, and the experts checked the content and confirmed the presence of heroin. After the news broke, several on social media asked how 3,000 kg of heroin was allowed to be imported through Mundra port. Many are also linking it to Mundra port being operated by private operator Adani. However, if looked at past instances, then similar seizures have also happened at other ports which are not operated by Adani Group. For example, in the month of July, the Directorate had seized about 300 kilograms of heroin from some containers at Nhava Sheva port in Navi Mumbai. The consignment had also originated from Bandar Abbas port in Iran. It was being smuggled in the garb of talcum powder also. At the same port, the agency had seized 191 kg of heroin in August 2020 and arrested three private persons named Suresh Bhatia, Mohammad Nauman and Mahendra Nigam, apart from two customs house agents. That consignment had been routed through Chabahar in Iran from Pakistan's Gwadar. So let us be fair, nobody questioned when heroin was caught at Nhava Sheva port. There are many other ports in India and Indian authorities carry out such operations frequently there. Did we ever hear a hue and cry about it? No. Such seizures also happen at airports, but did anyone criticize those operating the airport? I'm not saying therefore we should not criticize Adani Group. In fact, we have done several stories criticizing the decisions of Adani Group, then be it handing over the airports or ports to them, or be it Australia coal mine project, or be it Himachal Pradesh apple growers' concern with Adani Agro. But we, as a fair and responsible media, will not indulge in criticizing hysteria. We have to draw a line between genuine issue-based criticism versus criticism for the sake of it. Now let us talk about the important part of the story. Let us talk about Afghanistan link of the illegal drug trade. Afghanistan is the world's biggest producer of heroin, supplying between 80 to 90% of the global output. Since the Taliban takeover, the terrorist organization promised it will bring opium cultivation to zero again and that there would be no smuggling of heroin. However, if we look back at the data, and it will tell us that it was in fact under Taliban's last rule that Afghanistan's opium poppy cultivation rose substantially. From around 41,000 hectares in 1998, it rose to more than 64,000 hectares in 2000 according to the US State Department data. This was largely in Taliban-controlled Helmand province, which accounted for 39% of the world's illicit opium production. But in the month of July 2000, the Taliban banned opium poppy farming in areas they controlled. And a UN report in May 2001 observed the near total success of the ban in eliminating poppy cultivation in Taliban-controlled areas. Interestingly, following the Taliban's ban on opium poppy farming, there was a noticeable dip in opium and heroin seizures globally in 2001 and 2002. However, things have since changed. Although there has been cultivation in regions controlled until recently by the former government, most poppy growing has been concentrated in areas held by the Taliban. As I said, Helmand province in southern Afghanistan, for example, had the most land used for poppy cultivation in 2020 when controlled by the Taliban. Amid the raging COVID-19 pandemic, opium growth exceeded by 37% in 2020 as compared to the previous year, the UNODC report said. From 1,63,000 hectares in 2019, it expanded to 2,24,000 hectares in the preceding year, that is 2020, as per the report. The area overwhelmingly included the territories controlled by Taliban despite the presence of US-led NATO forces. According to UNODC, the opium economy in Afghanistan is estimated at $1.2 billion to $2.1 billion annually. And this makes it the biggest constituent of the Afghan gross domestic production, accounting for 6 to 11% of it. So how does Taliban make money out of opium? Opium farming is a major source of employment in Afghanistan, and in 2019, opium harvesting provided almost 1,20,000 jobs according to the UNODC Afghanistan Opium Survey. The Taliban levies taxes on the opium crop and indirectly profits through processing and trafficking. It also collects a 10% cultivation tax from opium farmers. Taxes are also collected from the laboratories converting opium into heroin, as well as the traders who smuggle the illicit drugs. Estimates of the Taliban's annual share of the illicit drug economy range from $100 million to $400 million. Except for some fluctuations, opium production and opium-related seizures have shown an upward trend over the last 2 decades in line with the poppy cultivation in Afghanistan. And there has recently been a rise in seizures at sea on routes between the Indian Ocean and Europe. Efforts by the US and international community to control the country's heroin trade over many years have been largely unsuccessful. On record, even the Taliban denies any involvement in the opium trade. However, the Taliban's return to power has placed more strain on the country's already dire economic situation. The economy was hugely reliant on international donors that had a stake in the previous government. Foreign aid and development assistance made up more than 42% of Afghanistan's GDP last year and funded 3/4 of public expenditure. But many of those donors are unwilling to offer support to Taliban, making the economic outlook even more uncertain. Recently, the International Monetary Fund has said that its engagement with Afghanistan will remain suspended until there is clarity within the international community on the recognition of the government led by Taliban in Afghanistan. Since Taliban will not be getting any foreign aid from global financial institutions soon, it may turn its focus on earning money through other routes, and it could very well be the opium trade. And that also threatens India as far as the rise in the illegal drug trade is concerned. So India needs to be more careful about that. Do let us know what you think about this in the comment box below. For more news and updates, you can log on to www.hwnews.in. Now before I end this video, HW News Network's tagline is unbiased, real and honest, and our journalism is the kind of journalism that sticks to this tagline. We are unbiased, we are honest and we are real. But for us to continue the kind of journalism that we do, we require your support. And your support means you taking up subscription that are available on our website. You can go and check out on our website. There are several options of supporting us that are available on the website. You can choose if you want to support us through monthly one-time payment or yearly one-time payment. So that is what you can select on the website, and you can choose to support us, because your support matters the most to us. When you support us, we are empowered to continue the kind of journalism that we are doing. Thank you so much.